Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Georgia. I hope you're well. Today we are going to be reading books from my 2016 and 2026 list. I feel like at the beginning of the year we all make these goals, we all make these like sort of reading challenges that we set for ourselves, and then we just sort of forget about them. I am so guilty for doing this. I made a list of the 25 books that I wanted to read in 2025 last year, and I think I only read like 14 of them. I failed it so bad. Like I was nowhere near hitting my goals. So this year, I am determined to do better. I am determined to read all 26 books off my 2016-2026 list. So we're going to make these videos to try and keep me accountable for doing that. If you haven't seen my list, I have got my reading journal with me here. And so far, I've only read one of them, and that was Dove by Paisley Hope. So in this video, we're going to pick 3 books and we're going to read them together in a little vlog style format, just to make sure that I actually hit my reading goal this year. So I plan on doing maybe like 4 or 5 of these throughout the year, just to try and keep me sort of up to date and make sure that I'm definitely going to hit the goal by the end of this year. So I have picked my first book, and that is Diabound by Sable Sorensen. So this was actually on my 25 and 2025 and I never got to it. So I put it straight on my 26 and 2026 list just to make sure that I got this book read. I've had this since it first came out last year. I even got like the special edition one. I was so excited to pick up this book, and then I think I kind of saw the size of it and were like, yeah, I'm not going to read that. We're going to read it now instead. So this is Diabound. It is a fantasy romance book. The second one actually comes out in May of this year in the UK. So I definitely want to have this read so that we can jump straight into book 2 when book 2 finally comes out. But this one honestly sounds incredible, and I have been wanting to read it for the longest time. So we're finally going to jump into this together today. Book 1 for this video, we are going to read Diabound. I'll just read you the synopsis for this book then. So it says, only the worthy survive the bonding trials. She'll risk her life and her heart to be one of them. Meryn Cooper has always hated the bonded, elite warriors who form mental links with the massive vicious direwolves they ride. The bonded live in luxury while Meryn struggles to keep her family out of poverty. And when her little sister Seela is kidnapped, stolen across the border by the immortal monsters her country has spent centuries fighting, Meryn's world falls apart. Desperate to cross the front and save her sister, Meryn enlists in the army and is thrown into the deadly bonding trials, where any mistake will cost her her life. Now Meryn must survive 4 months of training at the castle. She is bound to a feral direwolf who refuses to communicate. The other trainees would love to spill her common blood, but her cold and beautiful instructor, Stark Therion, is eager to punish any weakness. Everything is a competition and everyone is out to get her, everyone except the dangerously handsome crown prince, whose attention adds another target to her back. In the castle, every smile hides a knife, and the halls hide dark secrets. It's bond or bleed, duel or die, failure is ruin. I am so excited for this one. I love a competitions and trials book anyway. It's basically my sort of favourite fantasy style book. I just love trials and competitions. I just think they're so much fun. It gives them a target. It gives like a nice fast-paced bit compared to like the more calm bits between the trials and competitions and things, and I just love it. I've heard the most amazing things. It's like just under 600 pages, which to me is a big book. I'm used to like 300-page romance books, so this is a big book for me. We're looking at 600 pages, but the writing is quite big, so I'm hoping it doesn't feel too bad, and I'm hoping that there's enough going on that it keeps me hooked for the full duration of the book. Yeah, so I've got this on my Everand app, so it'll be quite nice to be able to switch between sort of picking up and reading it and then having it on audio and things while I'm in the car, and then I will give you some sort of updates when we get to an exciting bit or when we get to around the midway point. I'm going to stop rambling and we're going to jump straight into it. Diabound by Sable Sorensen. Let's go. So I am currently on page 276, which is in the middle of chapter 28. It's just where I stopped in the car. I got to like one of the chapter breaks and stopped and got out because it was cold and raining and I wanted to be inside. So I'm going to say just under halfway. But I am really enjoying this one so far. I'm really enjoying sort of the pack mentality. I really enjoyed the setup. I like the sort of twists and turns that we've had so far. I'm really enjoying sort of seeing everything from Meryn's sort of perspective. I do feel like we're setting up a love triangle, which I don't mind a love triangle, so that's fine with me. I've got some predictions that I'm not going to share because there'll be spoilers if I'm right, because I will tell you that I'm right. The setup of this book very much gives sort of like Fourth Wing vibes, I will admit to that. It felt very similar in sort of like the pairing with the direwolf is very similar to the pairing with Tern in Fourth Wing, and yeah, I'm really enjoying the trials and things. We've had the first trial, the presentation, and we're sort of preparing for the next trial at the moment. I am enjoying the twists and turns that I've had so far. I'm enjoying all the characters, the side characters and things like that. The twins are really lovely. I'm enjoying them. It is sitting probably around a 4-star at the moment, but we'll see what the rest of the story brings. It's definitely got some spice in there, which is always nice in my opinion. It's quite easy reading, I'll be honest. I have been doing a mix of reading and audio, so I'm doing it on Everand. But yeah, I am enjoying it so far. I do think it's been a fun read as of the first half anyway. I'm liking the direwolf that she's bound with. Is it a Nasa? I think that's how they've been saying it on the audio. I'm really enjoying that side of things. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with the siphons and the nabbers and things. There's just a lot going on and it's really exciting, and I'm enjoying the sort of academy setting and also the sort of like war that they're preparing for. But yeah, it does feel very similar to Fourth Wing in a lot of ways, but I enjoy Fourth Wing, so I'm not complaining. It just does feel quite samey. So far so good. Like I say, sitting probably around a 4-star, so I'm gonna keep reading and I will come back to you with sort of like updates as we go, but so far so good. Let's keep reading. So I have now finished Direbound by Sable Sorensen. Now, annoyingly, I haven't actually been reading this very often at home. So I wasn't at home during all the very big sort of like battle scenes and things that happen in this book. All the amazing quotes, things like that. I have highlighted them all on my Kindle, just because I usually have the Kindle app on my phone to be able to quickly jump to if I audio a line that I really like. I've got somewhere that I can document it and things, but I wasn't at home for all the very big moments, so I didn't manage to catch all of my like raw reactions to this. Like one of the biggest moments in this book I didn't see coming, and I was actually driving at the time. I was just like mind blown whilst driving my car home from work. Like it was ridiculous. But all in all, I did really enjoy this one. I do feel like there was definitely moments where I was getting a little bit bored, but it was still just incredible. It was enough to keep me hooked. I do feel like this is very Fourth Wing inspired. There is definitely a lot of things that happen in this book that are just reimaginings of Fourth Wing, but with direbounds instead of dragons. I did still really enjoy it. Like the trials were really good fun. The ending and the twists and turns at the end of this book blew my mind. Hello. So I've just had to put my book down because we have a cuddle bum today. I'm sorry if you can hear her purring. I feel like this microphone picks up everything. But yeah, I all in all really enjoyed it. The trials were a lot of fun. The twists and turns genuinely like caught me off guard. I had like ideas of where they were going, but never in a million years would I have guessed what actually happened. And all in all, just a really fun read and a fun time. I do feel like I definitely got bored in certain sections, but I think that's more just because it took me so long to read this book. So I don't know if I was just getting a bit like, right, okay, can we cut these bits out? But yeah, I'm really excited to see where this goes. It has a massive cliffhanger ending, and I'm really excited for book 2 coming out. I want to say it's May. I think I'm going to settle on, I want to say like a 4, but I have really enjoyed it. It's been a lot of fun. I like the writing style. I like the spiciness. I like the twists and turns were genuinely like caught me off guard and was just really fun. So I'm very happy about that. We're now going to move on to book number 2, and I have decided that is going to be Soul Searching by Lila Sage. Now, this book I feel like I've been putting off for like the longest time. I feel like I just keep saying I'm going to read it next, and then I just never pick it up. So I definitely want to jump into this now. I think that this one will be exactly what I need. I'm just feeling something like easy and flirty and fun, and I feel like Lila Sage does that so well, and like good banter and things. So I think this will be a definite good option. I feel like this one's just going to be perfectly what I need. So it just says on the back, home is where the heart is, and this one is haunted. Colin Cartwright doesn't want to go home. Sweetwater Peak, Wyoming was supposed to be in her rearview mirror. But when she finds out a developer is trying to buy her parents' antique shop, she doesn't have a choice. At least that's what she tells her family. They don't know that she lost her job and is out of money, or that the ghosts that have always been her companions have recently gone silent. Brady Cooper is absolutely fine. Seriously, there's no secret reason why he decided to uproot his life and suddenly move to Sweetwater Peak. He just needed a change of pace, at least that's what he tells himself. But when he agrees to let Collins stay in his spare room, he doesn't realise that she constantly talks to thin air or that she looks like that. Good thing their arrangement is only temporary, right? So I think this one's going to be a lot of fun. Like I say, I'm just looking for something really fun and easy to read, and I think this is just going to hit the spot perfectly. So, next up on the list then, Soul Searching by Lila Sage. I'm very excited to get into this one, so let's just jump straight in. Honestly, I don't know what's gotten into her recently, but she's just like glued to me. I just have a Velcro cat. So I've actually just come to give you a bit of a check-in on Soul Searching by Lila Sage. I read to chapter 8 of this book literally last night. I have been audioing this on and off all day, and I've actually read all the way up until chapter 24. I have read all of this literally on and off all day today. I am obsessed with this book. It is exactly what I needed. It is so easy and fun and flirty and such an interesting concept. So our main female character, Collins, can actually like speak to ghosts and see ghosts, and like she can communicate with them, and basically ends up going back home because all of a sudden she can't communicate with them anymore. She can still see them, but they can't hear her, she can't hear them. She's kind of lost her gift. So she goes back home to try and sort of like figure out what's going on and try and bring her gift back. Now, we also follow our main character, Brady. Now, Brady moved to Sweetwater Peaks, I want to say about a year before she comes home. And he has a business on like the street where her parents live and her parents work and things. And her sister basically sorts her accommodation in his apartment. So his apartment has like an entire spare half. So he basically agrees to let her stay there and then also sort of like work in his shop. It basically just sort of like goes from there. So she is trying to learn more about him. She's asking all the questions. She wants to figure out why he all of a sudden moved to Sweetwater Peak, the place where she says people only run from. It's so like fun watching them trying to uncover each other's secrets and each other's sort of problems and try and help each other. And it's all just sort of like intertwining at the minute, and I'm just really enjoying the setup. It's like, it is just so easy and fun. And I know I keep saying easy, but it's the only way I can think to describe it. If you want just a very quick, take your brain out romance book with that bit of spice, really good banter and sarcasm and just really fun characters, look no further. This is the book. It's small town, paranormal. I'm not saying that this is like a masterpiece with so much plot and so much going on, but it's just fun and flirty. And like the side characters in this as well are amazing. Collins has a twin sister and her character is just so much fun, and sort of like the issues they have and the like family drama, and it's just a good one. It's just a good one, and I highly recommend reading this. Obviously I've not finished it yet. I've still got probably about 20% to go. It says about an hour and a half on the audio, so it's not much left at all. I do think I'm probably just going to sit and read this tonight because I'm just having such a fun time. I'm really enjoying this one so far. It's just a fun play time, which is exactly what I was after. I definitely think this 2016 2026 is hitting so far. So I've already finished 2 books off it. This is going to be my 3rd, and I'm really enjoying this one. So I do think all in all, my 2016 2026 list is going to just slap. This video is definitely worth making. I feel like it gives me the motivation that I need to sort of get books off this list, because I feel like these are the sort of books that I would put off reading. I feel like I make these lists and then I put them off and put them off and put them off because I'm scared that they're going to disappoint me. A lot of the books that aren't new releases on this list are books that I really wanted to read last year and just like didn't get to because I put them off and put them off. So I feel like making this list is kind of forcing me to actually get to those, and I'm really enjoying that. I'll be honest, it worked. My plan worked. So yeah, I'm probably just going to go downstairs and sit and read this book. I can't really tell you much about what's happening because there's not loads going on anyway, and I don't want to take away everything from the book, but I am enjoying it. Obviously it says in the back about a developer and things, and like the antique shop is just like such a cool place, and it's one of those places that like they've talked about it so much that I can really picture it, and I'd really love to go there and just sort of see the setting. And Sweetwater Peak in general just sounds beautiful. It just sounds like such a small town. Everybody knows everybody, everybody's got their sort of like place and their function in this town, and I just really like that in a book. So I am really loving this one. It is just super easy, take your brain out read, and that is exactly what I wanted. So I'm gonna go and sit on the sofa because James is down there at the moment. I'm gonna finish this book and then I will probably come back to you maybe tomorrow with an update. I'm gonna jump straight back to it. It's not very often that I sit and binge read like this, so I'm gonna make the most of it, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Last night I finished Soul Searching by Lila Sage, and you know what? I enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed it. I feel I got really easily lost in it. I feel like I had a really enjoyable time, but at the same time I can say not much happens in this book. Not in a bad way, it is just like a really easy to read, get lost in romance, and that is exactly what I needed. If you're somebody that is very much plot driven and not character driven, then I would probably say you won't love this. But if you're someone that's character driven, then this is really fun. Collins is basically on this journey to sort of like find her gift again. she has lost her ability to communicate with them, and this is just her journey of trying to get that back. We then follow Brady, who is also sort of on the run from his past, and he has moved to Sweetwater Peak to basically have a fresh start. It's them basically doing that together. So Collins is running back to her past, Collins is running away from them past, but they both end up running to Sweetwater Peak, and it's just them sort of discovering themselves and discovering their lives again together. It's a very sweet romance. The spicy scenes in this are really lovely, and it was just all in all a really enjoyable time. If you're looking for something with like loads going on and loads of drama and loads of things happening, this probably isn't for you. As somebody just looking for like a nice easy romance, this would be perfect. So I really struggled on what to rate this one, because for like entertainment it's probably a 4. Plot and things, there isn't much plot. So I found it really difficult. So I do think I'm going to stick for a 3.5 for this, but I did really, really enjoy it. There just weren't loads happening. So I'm going to stick with a 3.5. It's a really enjoyable time. I'm looking forward to the next book. I really enjoyed how she connected this one with her previous series, so Rebel Blue Ranch, which is here. She did connect this with that really nicely. So like Amos, which is like the dad of all the characters in books in the first series. It's his brother who lives on one of the ranches in Sweetwater Peak. So I really liked that connection, how like we saw some of the characters from the other series in this. I'm really looking forward to sort of seeing more of those connections as we get further into this series. I'm very much looking forward to book 2. I will definitely be picking that up as soon as it arrives, as soon as we've got like a date and things like that. I think that one's going to be following her twin sister Clark. Our final book for this video then is going to be Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. I am slightly terrified that I am going to struggle with this book. From like reading, I tried to read the blurb out in my TBR video, and you know what, struggled. So I am slightly terrified that the writing style is going to be a bit much for me and for my liking. I like a nice easy writing style and easy read, so I do think in some ways I'm going to struggle with that element of it. I do really want to give this one a go. So this one is following 3 women through time, and they are vampires. It is like a sapphic vampire romance. I did make the mistake of taking to Goodreads to just have a bit of a nosy at this book. Me and Faye were talking about it, and I was trying to tell her a bit about it and things, and the ratings for this book aren't as good as I thought they'd be, and a lot of people are saying that like, to say the book's this big, not a lot happens, and that does make me a little bit nervous. Like, I don't mind it for little books like Soul Searching when there's not a lot going on, but like when I'm reading for this long, for there to not be much happening does make me a little bit nervous. But I do think we are sort of jumping between timelines, because like just reading the synopsis, it's like 1532, 1827 and 2019. So I do feel like we're going to be covering a lot of time and these 3 women through those time periods. Maybe, I don't entirely know, but I'm intrigued. I do think this one is going to be slightly more difficult and a bit harder to get my head around. I do think this is going to be one I'm probably going to be better off physically reading rather than audioing. I think there's a lot of time jumps and stuff. So we're going to give it a go. I'm going in with high expectations, but equally I'm going in knowing that I am probably going to struggle with this one a little bit. So we'll give it a go. But so far, the first 2 books in this video have been really enjoyable, so I'm hoping that this one is the same. So let's jump into our third and final book for this video, Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. Hello, I am back with a little update on this here book. So I am currently on page 92 of this book, and so far I'm really enjoying it. Obviously we're still only just sort of like building characters and setting sort of the scene with this book, but so far I'm finding it so interesting. So I think this book has the potential to be a 5-star. It's really, I think it's going to end up being like a really clever, really sort of like well-rounded full circle type book. This one is a sapphic vampire romance, but we are following 3 women in different like timelines, but also in different parts of the world, and I really think that this is going to be a full circle moment. So I think that this one is going to be so fun, and watching them sort of like interconnect and their 3 sort of timelines unfold, I think is going to be so interesting. So like I said, so far we've sort of met Maria separately from 1532, and then we've also met Alice and Lotte in 2019 in Alice's like sort of timeline. I'm really enjoying this. I think it's so much fun. I think it's so interesting. I think that We're going to get some sort of interconnection from Maria's story, obviously a lot later down the line in Alice's timeline. But I think this is going to follow sort of how they all become vampires and how it all sort of, like, how it all happens and how they all turn and things like that. But I am enjoying it so much so far. I do think we are currently at Alice's turning point. I do think she might be sort of like in transition at the moment. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's where we're at. But so far, I'm really enjoying this. I obviously am only 90 pages in to 3 people's story, so there is a lot more to still uncover. It's still very early days, but so far I'm really intrigued. It's been a while since a book has had me sort of thinking this much. Like, I'm sat here trying to connect dots and we don't really have a lot of information yet, so I do take that as a good sign. I'm invested. Like, I want to just go and sit and read. Like, it's Thursday right now and I have Friday, I have tomorrow off, and then obviously it's the weekend. And, like, I can't even tell you how much I just want to cancel all my plans and sit and read this book. I just want to read my book, which I know is so bad. I'm obviously so excited for my plans, but this book is just screaming for every moment of my time. I will come back to you as soon as I have some more thoughts and feelings on this here book. I really want to love this book, but I feel that I'm not loving it as much as I first hoped. We will just have to see. I do feel like it's dragging a lot though. About 8%. We'll see. Hopefully the ending will pick it up a little bit. I'm enjoying it as far as like the story and the like links between the 3 girls and like their take and V. Schwab's take on vampires and things like that. But in terms of like pacing and entertainment, I'm not loving it as much as I was originally, if that makes any sense. Like, I was really enjoying how we were getting to know each character and how they were slowly starting to unravel these different worlds and these different characters in these different timelines, and I was really, really enjoying that. But to say there's 3 different stories going on, not a lot's happening. I'm really hoping that the ending of this is going to be like really dramatic and really fun to just sort of bring this back up a little bit, because I do feel it's just lacking plot. But we shall see. It might redeem itself, but I'm not loving it as much as I first hoped. But I'm not loving it as much as I first thought I was, unfortunately. But we'll see. Let's keep reading. So, I have just finished this book on my way home from work. I have been sort of doing a mix of audio and physically reading this one. And I've got a very big update for you because, like I say, I have finished this. So when I last spoke to you guys, I was only about 100 pages into this book, and at the time I was saying about how this has like 5-star potential. I was having the most fun. I was loving getting to know the characters and unraveling all these different stories and these different timelines, and I was just having the greatest time. And then I just feel like I kind of got a bit carried away, and the ideas I was having and what I was thinking was going to unravel from all of this just didn't happen, and it actually just turned out to be 3 separate stories that just sort of existed and slightly overlapped. And I just think that like I got so carried away and I had all these like amazing high stakes ideas, and that's just not what this book is. I think I'm just slightly more of like a plot driven person rather than a character driven person, and I feel like after reading Soul Searching and really, really enjoying that, but there not being a lot going on and me rating it only a 3.5, I've then read this and just been a bit like, okay, so we've got another one that's just character driven and a bit boring and a bit slow. I don't know. I did enjoy it. I did find this book really interesting and I enjoyed the concept. I just felt a bit like it was taking me forever to get through this. Like, it took me a week to read this book. I don't know. It just felt like the longest time and I was just a bit bored, to be honest. It was a great concept. I had fun. No, I didn't. I had fun for the first 100 pages, but like I did find it interesting, but I just don't really feel like this sort of thing is for me. I just expected it to be really exciting and I had all these amazing ideas, and then it just turned out that they were just 3 vampires sort of thing with a bit of an overlap and a like crossover, and like even how they set up the ending, I got so excited. I thought it was going to be this like massive high stakes moment, and even that was just a bit like done. I think I'm going to rate it 3 stars. I do think the concept was great, but I just feel like it was a bit lacking for me in sort of like pace, I guess. I don't want to just like sort of sit in here and rip into it because I did enjoy it. It didn't need to be this big. To say that we've got 3 separate lives and 3 separate stories going on that do sort of interlink and overlap, not a lot happened to say we're following 3 different people. I'm being a bitch. I'm being mean, I know, but this, yeah. I enjoyed it. but I'm not like dying to pick up something else by this author. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. I did enjoy it. If you like a character-driven book, I do think you'll really like this, but I just need a bit more going on than this book delivered. So they're the 3 books that I wanted to read in this video done. I've actually had a really fun time doing this. I do think this is definitely going to be a fun way to sort of like keep on top of my goals and to make sure that I hit my 26 and 2026 this year. I do think I'm probably going to do a few more of these, especially as sort of like the newer books start to come out, because this is just a really fun way to do that, I guess. I am planning on doing in March like a reading new releases, which is basically just going to be another version of this, but all the like 3 new books that are actually kind of accidentally on my 26 and 2026. So I do plan on doing that next month with a few of the books that are coming out in March. March is such a good month for new releases. Like, I'm genuinely so excited for the books that we've got coming. So I just think that's going to be such a fun way to, again, make sure I'm ticking off books on my TBR, because there are 10 brand new releases on my 26 and 2026, and 3 of them come out every Tuesday for the next 3 weeks. So we will basically doing another edition of this, but with brand new release books. I'm so excited. I think that one's going to be so much fun. But yeah, Diabound, loved it. Really fun time, really high stakes, really interesting, really sort of like gripping and drama filled, and exactly what I wanted at the time. I was then in the mood for a really easy, cozy romance, and Soul Searching provided that. I had a really good time with that one as well. And then we had Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil, which kind of fell a little bit flat for me, but I still had a nice time. It was just long, very long, 600 pages when it didn't need to be. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And if you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought of them in the comments. And as always, my social media, my Amazon, my Goodreads and my business email are all in the description bar below. Thank you so much for being here. I really hope you're well, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care.